This is the number calculator set D worksheet. So by now you should have done set A, set B, and set C, and you're looking at set D. Make sure you have this in front of you. You have a calculator with you. Okay, question number 1. Use your calculator to work out that. This is what it should look like on your calculator once you put it in, and you should be able to do this without a problem. Make sure you write down all the numbers on the calculator screen, everything there. When you go into question 2, it says write that answer to one significant figure. So you're going to chop it off there. Look at the next number along. That's a 4, so I don't need to do anything to that. In fact, once I chop it off, my answer is just going to be simply 1. And it is, because it's 1 unit, it's simply 1. Question 3, I need to work out the cost of one plant. So £3.60 divided by 15, £7.70 divided by 35, and 14.95 divided by 65, and I can compare those values, and in this case 22 pence is the smallest value, or the cost of plants, so tray B is going to be the cheapest and the best value. In question 4, the two dots above the 8 and the 3, and because they're just two numbers, mean that just two numbers are repeating. So I'm going to write 83 over 2 nines, 99. That's my answer. You shouldn't suss this out and be pretty confident with it right now. Question 5. This time I'm looking at 42 over 99. And if you think about the previous one, because I'm dividing by 999, three numbers are going to be repeating. But because I only have two numbers up there, 4 and 2, I need to add on a third digit, and that's going to be a 0. So if I did this on my calculator, I'd get 0.042, 042, 042. That, in other words, is going to be 0.042 with a dot above the 0 and a dot above the 2 to indicate that everything in the middle of those two is repeating. Please do think about this and make sure you're able to do it. Question 6, let y equals 0.14 recurring times by 10 times by 10 again. Do the subtraction, and I'm going to get 90y is equal to 13. Divide by 90, and I'll get y is equal to 13 over 90. That's my answer. I can't simplify that any further. Question 7 has a bit of a twist in it. It says Gary uses 367 units of electricity in 1 month. So you don't need to do a subtraction or anything like that there. He pays 5.84 pence for each unit of electricity he uses. So I need to times the number of units he uses by 5.84. Do that on my calculator, and when I round it to pounds, that 0.28 over there is going to disappear, right? Because I just want to keep it to 2 decimal places, right? It wouldn't be sensible if I put even more decimal places over there. Do think about that. But the other thing that they said is that Gary pays a fixed charge of £6.14. That means whatever his electricity bill is, you're going to add on £6.14 to it. And that's what we need to do. 21.43, add on £6.14, and he's going to pay £27.57. Going into question 8, there's a bit of a typo in question 8, so you will need to change it on your sheet, right? That number there should be 12. Yeah, I've changed it over here to 12. On your sheet, I think it's written as 9. So let's work through this. Let's work out the multiplier. I'm going to just write it down, actually. It's going to be 1.013. Yeah, we know the interest rate is 1.3%, so it's going to be 1, always starts off with 1, and if I think about it, 0.13. Yep, do think about it so you make sure you know if you are able to do that. Here I have my money amount, 8,250, times it by my multiplier to the power of 12 because it's 12 years. When I work that out, I'm going to get this number. As we talked about before, because it's money we're dealing with, we need to write it to 2 decimal places. So my answer is going to be 9,633.13. Okay, there's my answer, and you should be pretty okay with this. In this case, we're looking at a depreciation of 9%. I'm going to do it over here because I think a lot of people have difficulty thinking about depreciation. So we're going to take away. That's going to give me 91%. And as a decimal, 91% is 0.91. So I'm going to do my maths. 30,000 times 0.91 to the power of 15 because it's 15 years. On my calculator, this is what it should look like. And if I write this to 2 decimal places, I need to round up. right? If you think about this, the next number along is a 5, so I need to change that 4 over there, increase it up by 1, so my answer is 7,290.25. Question 10. This is the other sort of reverse percentages question. In a test, Jim got 23 questions correct. He got 85% of the questions right. So that means that 85% is 23 questions. 1% is going to be 23 divided by 85, which is 0.27. So that means that 100% is 0.27 times 100, which is 27. That means there were 27 questions in the test. Make sure you do think about this and you're actually pretty okay with both the different forms of question 10. In question 11, draw the arrows. Going forward is times, going backwards it's divide. Look at the question. What is it asking you to do? A sandwich costs $13.80. What does it cost in pounds? So we want to go from dollars to pounds. That means we're dividing. I'm going to do $13.80 divide by 1.15, and that gives me exactly 12 pounds. Be careful with it. Always write in the units if it's not given there. Question 12. The lower bound of x is going to be 37.5. The upper bound of x is going to be 38.5. For y, the lower bound is going to be 14.5 and the upper bound is going to be 15.5. They want us to find the maximum value of x divided by y. So we're going to get the biggest value of x divided by the smallest value that y is going to be. So we're going to use the biggest value of x, 38.5, and divided by the smallest value that y could be. Yep, as I've indicated there. And your answer is going to be 2.655. And I've just put the rest of the numbers there. In an actual exam question, they will tell you how much decimal places to write it to. Question 13. Bill buys a house for 150,000. He sells it for 154,500. Work out Bill's percentage profit. So what's his profit? I need to take away 154,500 from 150,000. That's his profit. It will be 4,500. How much did he pay for the house? The original value was 150,000. That's what goes at the bottom. When I pop that onto my calculator, that's what it should look like. There's some extra bits because the numbers are so big. His profit turns out to be 3%. Please, please, please make sure you are able to do this and try to understand this fully. Question 14, calculate 28%, so that's 28 over 100. Of means times 6,400. Stick this onto your calculator and you should be able to work out your answer of 1,792. Question 15, express 4,560 as a percentage of 12,000. Should be pretty okay at this. Write it as a fraction, times it by 100, put it onto your calculator, and my answer is 38%. Okay, so we've completed set D. You should be pretty okay at this, be able to do them, and this will make a big difference to your exam, especially the calculator paper, where there are many questions here that could come up on the calculator paper. Make sure you do understand this completely and fully.